So today I'm going to a Searchlight Tower lookout for sunset. There is a trail that goes to this little lookout, but I decided to be a little more adventurous, so I'm hiking through the bush. It's only about a mile hike, so it's not too bad. Shouldn't take me too long, and a little bit of adventure as well. And I also picked up a new video camera yesterday, so I'm out here trying that out. So stay tuned for a bit of adventure and a bit of gear discussion, and also some landscape photography. So where I started is I actually started on the Forts Trail, and I'm working my way east because the Searchlight Tower is on the east of the island here. So there's this old riverbed that I'm just going to follow all the way down. So I kind of started on top of a mountain and I'm working my way down to the beach. So hopefully I'll just follow this straight to the east and it should take me right about where I want to go. And there's also a road that runs perpendicular to where I started that goes from north to south. So as long as I keep heading east, there's really no way I can get lost. But it's still a good fun adventure through the bush on a trail that most people don't do at all. So here on Magnetic Island, there's a bunch of these little green tree ants, and they bite pretty bad. And every time I set down my bag or set down my camera or something, they always climb on top of it, which is so annoying. So I spend my whole hike just brushing them off and making sure that there's none on me, because when they bite, it does not feel too good. So the new camera I decided to get for video is the Canon M50. A couple reasons I decided to get this, but mostly because I'm just shooting on my GoPro. That's what I've been recording with this whole time on YouTube. And I've just kind of outgrown the GoPro and I want something a little bit more versatile and a little bit more, somewhat more advanced to work with. So I went with the M50. One of the reasons is because it has this fully articulating screen. There we go. So I can see myself as I'm recording, which makes it very nice. And the interchangeable lenses give me plenty of options. And the thing is just so dang small. I mean, it's tiny and so lightweight. It's easy to carry around in the bush, which is nice. And it's got a pretty spectacular autofocus and also external mic jack. So I can plug my external mic into it with no problems. So far, I've just been using it today and I like it so far. It's nice to have the zoom a lot better than the GoPro because you can get different angles and such, and to be able to change the aperture is very beneficial as well. But yeah, I'll just keep using it and see how it goes. So far I like it, but yeah, it's still too early to tell for the most part. So I must be getting close because I can already hear the ocean. But the trail's starting to get a little more thick, so I have to kind of veer away from the creek bed for a minute. But now I'm getting back to it, so should be smooth sailing now. So I made it here onto the road, and the lookout tower is off this road here. But the only problem is, I'm not sure if it's to the north or to the south. So I'm gonna take a gamble and go to the north, because I'm pretty sure it'd be north of where I was, because I did kind of review a map before I left. So I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going, but I'm still not positive. But let's hope so. Still have about 2 hours before sunset, and it's looking pretty nice so far. We got some really nice clouds in the sky, so I should come away with a lovely sunset this evening. So I'm almost to the lookout tower, but I've never been here before, so I don't know what to expect. And I really didn't even find any images on Google or anything. So I'm really not sure if there's any good views or any good compositions. So I guess I'll just have to wait and see until I get there. Hopefully I should be able to find something, because it is a real nice day and the clouds are looking real nice. It looks like we're gonna have a superb sunset. So it's a pretty nice view up here. You can see almost 360 degrees from this lookout tower. It's pretty nice, but unfortunately I don't find a composition that I like up here. So I'm gonna work my way back down the trail, and I saw a little spot that kind of cuts off looking that way with some rocks that I might be able to hop on top of and get a nice composition for tonight. So I've decided to take an image here. The composition seems okay. I've got the nice Florence Bay in the background there, and then I'll probably just use this rock as my foreground element here. Yeah, so I'm gonna set my tripod up, get my camera out, and look around and refine my composition, and then just wait until sunset and hopefully get a photograph. So I've got my tripod all set up here. As you can see, it's in quite the precarious location with the nice drop off in the back there. But it's still on the rock, so it should all be good. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on doing a panorama. I'm gonna start all the way over there where the mountains are kind of in shadow a bit, and then just work my way out into the ocean, making sure to overlap all my shots real well. I'm gonna start taking pictures here really soon, just because the sun's about to drop behind the mountain, and then I'm gonna lose all the light in the scene, because the light's kind of dramatic right now. So I wanna kind of get pictures with light on all these little hills in the background. So if I want to do a time blend later, I have the images to do it if I want, but I'm still not too sure, because I think it's gonna be a nice sunset, so I might not do a time blend. Well, the sun's about to go behind the mountains right now, so I'm gonna start taking some images. So I've already balanced my tripod, so when I pan it to do the panorama, it's going to be perfectly balanced and it'll stitch together nice in Lightroom. So I'm shooting at 1/160th of a second, f9, ISO 100. 2-second timer, of course. So for the pictures I'm taking for the far left, since this rock I'm sitting on isn't in the scene, I'm just focusing a third of the weight of the scene, so hopefully it'll be sharp all the way through. But then as I get to the rock, I'm focusing on the furthest point on the rock to make sure the rock is sharp. So now I took some images and I'm just going to do the same thing, working my way back, and I'm just going to keep shooting until the sun goes behind the mountain. Then after the sun goes behind the mountain, I'll wait until we get some color in the sky. Now I gotta be really careful here because this is kind of a precarious location, as you can see. It's a pretty big drop off, so as I'm taking pictures I gotta make sure I'm being mindful to not fall off the side. Now I'm shooting at f/150th of a second, still at f9, still at ISO 100. And I'm not using any filters or anything. So now we're starting to get some nice color in the clouds, so I'm going to start taking some more images. Now this is a very challenging image here because it's such a high dynamic range. There's so much difference between the shadows and the highlights that it's really hard to get a balanced exposure. So I'm going to have some of the sky blown out pretty much no matter what I do, which is a bit unfortunate, but it still might come out okay, but I'm not sure. So that's all for today's video. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. We had a nice adventure today, hiking through the bush, and also did a bit of photography, so it was a pretty productive day. Now I'm gonna hike back, but I won't have to hike back through the bush the way that I hiked here, because I'll be able to take the road back to where I parked, so it'll be a little bit easier in the dark than trying to meander my way through the trackless bush. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later.